Hi, my amazing artists. Today we're going to create a pop art inspired circle piece of art for International Dot Day, and also it's going to be inspired not just by International Dot Day, by an artist, Andy Warhol, and the pop art movement. So we're going to be drawing our donuts today, and we'll begin to color them in our next class. So in this video we're just going to be drawing the donuts itself, but to begin we want to take and place our name on our paper with our class code, which is 5 for 5th grade, and then PO for Corny. So we're going to take the bottom part of our paper, match it up to the top. And the reason why we're doing this is we're folding up our paper to divide it into those 4 squares. From the top to the bottom. Now, I find it easier to fold from the top to the bottom, so I'm going to turn my paper so it's like this, open it up. Take again the bottom to the top, and then crease, and then open it up. And you should be able to see you have 4 sections of your paper, and you may have to bend it back and forth to make it so that it doesn't pop up. So we're going to create these donuts here for our 4 sections. So to begin with, to make our donut and have them be roughly about the same size, you're going to get a black stencil and you're going to place it in the middle of each of your 4 corners. So you're going to hold it with your helping hand, go all the way around. So you've got one donut here. So now I've got the 4 circles to be my 4 donuts in each corner. So our donut needs a hole. So to add our hole, we're going to be using a cup stencil. We're not going to use the top of the cup, we're going to use the bottom of it to give our hole inside of our donut. Now if you'd like to have a donut that does not have a hole, one that's more like jelly filled, you may not put a hole in one of your donuts if you want, but you do not have to. I'm going to make mine all with a hole, so I take my cup, I'm going to place it roughly in the middle of my donut or my circle, and I'm going to go all the way around so that I've got that circle inside to become my hole of my donut. I'm going to continue to do this for the rest of my 3 circles. Now that I've got all the holes inside my donut, to make them look a little bit more 3-dimensional, we're going to add this like C shape or crescent moon to the left-hand side of all of the donuts to make it look like that hole is going down and make our donuts look 3D on the paper. So I'm going to take and I'm just going to draw like a semi-curved line or like a C shape on that left-hand side of each donut. Now I want to create the icing. The icing, to make it more realistic, is going to not be a perfect circle. I'm going to let the edges kind of wiggle and go up and down a little bit. Now I do not want to see it go up and down so much that it kind of looks like a paint or water blob. So you don't want to have it go too up and down like this. You want it to be almost like you're drawing a circle, but it has a little bit of some wiggles to it. And I say about a finger to a pencil's width away from the edge of the donut. Okay, so I'm going to do this for my other donut down here across because I want them to be kind of the same. I'm going to show you how you can do kind of like a drizzle on a donut. So if you want your donut to look more like this, where it's got like icing drizzled across it, I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to first start out and you're just going to draw like almost like a really big letter U, and then you're going to draw another big letter U connected to it going the other way. And you're just going to keep doing this until you run out of room. Now I just have just one layer. That doesn't really look like icing yet. So then what you're going to do to double it up is just come along it and just do it again. And I say about a pencil's width is probably pretty good. So that's going to allow you to be able to color it well. It's not going to be too skinny. Okay, and that's how we can create that like drizzled effect. Now, if you'd like your donut to look like a bite has been taken out of it, you're just going to come here and kind of, again, similar to this line, you're just going to come along and make that wiggly line here along the donut. Then erase that smoothed circle line. And then just like we kind of did similar to that icing, you're going to double it up and just make that line again right next to it. And there it looks like your donut has had a chunk bitten out of it. You can also make your donut look like it's got the icing that goes around like these and a drizzle if you'd like. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to come around, make the icing, okay, now for that drizzle, I'm going to make that U shape, but instead of going all the way to the edge, I'm just going to go about halfway. Now it can get a little confusing because you have that icing line already, so you're going to come here and double that up. Again, going right next to the other one that you just did before, and then because that icing part isn't see-through, you'll erase any lines that are inside of that like wavy drizzle icing that you have on there. And that's how you can have a little bit of both. Now our sprinkles we are going to start to add. Now you don't want to put them in like a line. That's not going to be very natural. When they get poured out of a container or shook onto a donut, they're going to fall at random. So we're going to use these skinny rectangles to create the sprinkles, or you can even make them be little circles and have it be like a combination. So when you put them in here, you're just going to make them just these skinny little tiny rectangles. Some of them might be slanted, some of them might be horizontal, and you're just going to put a few of them just spread around that circle. And they can be, some can be a little smaller, some can be a little shorter. Again, you're just going to go all the way around the donut and just have it be very random. There's no pattern, there's no rows of them. And there's not a million of them either. You're not going to use any triangles or circle or stars or diamonds for your sprinkles. Just stick with the rectangles or those little circles. So I'm going to show you how you can do here that combination. So it's just like before, the one that I showed you before, but you're just going to add a couple circles here and there. And you can leave this one just like this, or if you wanted to add some sprinkles like this, you could. Either one would be fine. So our last and final step is going to be to trace the pencil lines with a black Sharpie. Just go nice and slow so you get right on top of the pencil. You can rotate your paper like I am doing just to make it easier to trace around some of those circular shapes or larger shapes on your paper. If you miss a line by a little bit, don't try to go back and get it, because we can erase the pencil lines once we are finished. So you can see here, I missed that pencil line by a little bit. I'm not going to go back and get it. I'm just going to erase that line when I'm finished. Once you've got all your stuff traced, you can take a pink eraser and erase over the whole thing to make sure all of your pencil lines are gone. Have fun. Enjoy.